the best tip I can give you is to post every single day. Come up with good content ideas because volume is king. And so, if you want to build a personal brand, you need to actually have good content ideas and post a lot of those content on all platforms. This isn't one of those videos, those fucking retards, talking about like, oh, personal branding is done in this manner, guys. No, I'm going to be revealing a few tactics that I use, which I've used to build two successful personal brands, and using currently to help my clients with, right? I sell some stuff. I have a coaching consulting offer sort of thing. It's very high ticket for very specific group of people. You're probably not going to be qualifying for that. So, I'm not trying to sell you and make money off of you. One thing I want you to understand is that all of the people you see online who are talking about personal branding and are talking about why it is so important, what is the new like great thing about it, you need to understand that they're all trying to sell you a little dream, right? And the dream is like very important to understand, because most of these people have no idea, right? These people have no idea how to build a personal brand. They have zero clue. The reason why I say they have zero clue is because they got lucky. Now I'm going to sound like a little bit of a dick here, right? What I'm saying is that most people who have built a successful personal brand got lucky with viral content. If you see some, personal branding guru who doesn't even get a lot of views, who's gotten a couple of, some viral content, it has worked for them because they got lucky. With me, the case is different because with my strategies, I'm able to pull in high intent leads, high intent calls from very less views. So this video might just have extremely less amounts of views, yet I'm pulling in, big amounts of leads coming in through these videos. So I want to talk about something really, really important today. And this is going to change your life. Like if you're trying to build a personal brand and you're struggling because you're either in one of these two scenarios. Your first scenario is that you get no views, right? You get absolutely no views, everything is dead. The second scenario is that you get views but you don't get any leads, right? You have zero leads in your pipeline. Now the reason why you have zero leads is because you are not focused on the one main key aspect, that is correct messaging. I'm going to break down this in today's video. In the next two videos, I'm going to break down how to position yourself and how to actually scale a personal brand. So if you want to have access to that, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe, but maybe you can follow me on Instagram or something like that. Maybe you'll know when the video comes out. I'm going to talk about correct messaging. The way you speak in front of a camera, the exact information you convey has a lot of power over the amount of influence you can have. Because I have studied psychology to the point that I've gone insane. I've gone insane because now every single interaction, human interaction I have, I'm looking at it from a lens of psychology. It has absolutely fucked up my life. But I don't want it, I don't want that to happen to you. So I'm going to make this as simple as possible. One thing we're going to focus on is correct messaging. That is being able to convey the right message to the right person at the right time. Because if you nail that, that is when you're going to be able to generate leads with the content. That's how things work. And so if you want to understand how to do that, we need to first of all understand a concept in physics known as resonance. Now you might have studied this in school, but if you haven't, uh, you need to like, you should have studied a little bit harder, but whatever. So sound wave looks like this, right? Everybody has seen it. Not as ugly as this one, but you get the point. A sound wave looks like this, right? And we all know like this is the amplitude, but the amount of times this shit happens, right? This shit happens is called the frequency of the sound wave. Now, resonance is a phenomena in which there are two sound waves with the same frequency, which basically combine to get a sound wave which is louder. It amplifies noise. You might have experienced this in your life. Sometimes whatever you speak just amplifies in intensity. This is resonance. Now why am I talking about resonance? Because you function in a very similar manner. The reason why I'm 4 minutes into this piece of content, you're still watching, the reason why is because I have created resonance. I have created resonance in your mind. It's very, very interesting to think about this. Think about resonance like I just talked about, right? The amplitude grows bigger, it becomes louder. Now think about this. Your leads are in constant pain, right? They're in pain and they want to solve that issue. They want to get out of the pain. The way they get out of this pain is by, having a solution. The solution is something that you should provide. But most people absolutely mess up here. They are going to mess up here, and you have probably messed up over here as well. You're not creating any resonance. There is no amplification of pain. The reason why your content doesn't create leads or customers for your business, doesn't amount to any clients, it's basically vanity metrics for you. You're facing that issue because you're not creating any resonance. There is no resonance there is no resonance in the mind of the viewer, which is the key point I want you to understand. If you create resonance, if you can amplify the pain that they face by speaking very specifically in front of a camera, you're going to amplify the pain in their mind, which is going to convince them more to buy your shit. I'm able to do this with like 2,000 views, 3,000 views every single Instagram reel I put out. I'm able to extract leads from such a small amount of views. There are people out there who get like 100,000 views, 50,000 views, 20,000 views every single reel. They struggle to even generate any sort of leads. I've talked to people who are doing so well in business, and their net worth is so high, yet they struggle to generate leads because they're not creating this messaging factor. There is no resonance. Because the way you create resonance is by speaking the correct language. I'm speaking the exact language that you speak. You need to understand this. You're only going to pay attention to things to what you've experienced. Think about that. Let's say you're living life and you come across multiple different experiences. Now, based on these experiences, you have certain learnings that you get from these experiences. Now think about this. Let's say you touch a hot utensil, like it's on the gas, you touch it, you burn your hand, right? You're a stupid fucker who burned their hand. Now imagine this happens again. The second time, this happening 2 times already means you're like pretty dumb. But let's say it happens 3 times. By the third time, you're not going to touch the hot utensil because you've learned from your experiences. You need to understand this. When you speak the correct language that your leads actually think and speak, that's when you create resonance. The reason why you're still watching this video right now is because I have spoken in a very, very specific manner which caused you to watch the video till this point, listen to what I'm saying, and actually take it seriously. I'm able to do all of these three things just by speaking. So, how do you pull this off? You need to understand this. The way you create any sort of experience, the way you create curiosity, right? The way you create curiosity is very important to understand, because curiosity is the base factor on which everything is going to be built. Everything in content is based on curiosity. The way you generate curiosity is by two things or three things. One is novelty. You need to sell a new opportunity, a new thing. So new pieces of information mean that it is novel. Or you go into the contrarian aspect, you go against the grain. This exact video I specifically talked very, very differently in this video, which caused you to watch this, because I went with the contrarian angle. I went with the contrarian sort of speaking tactic, which made you watch till this point. I could have gone with the novelty aspect, as in which I'm giving you information which you've never heard before, which is actually going to start to for you to make me look at me as an authority. Now, if you look at my Instagram, right? If I go to my profile right over here, you can go and click the link in the description. You can see 19,000 views, 2,000 views, 3,000 views, 2,000 views. I'm still pulling in leads with 1.3k followers. With 1.3k followers. Look at these reels. Look at look at this shit. This works so well because I'm creating resonance. I'm creating resonance. You need to speak with conviction and become personal in your content. The reason why most personal brands fail is because they're not personal anymore. They are not personal. You don't talk the way you like to speak. You don't talk about the things that you want to talk about. No wonder nobody gives a shit. No wonder nobody wants to watch your content. Of course they don't. Why should they even watch your content? There is nothing personal, which immediately ties back into novelty, because now everyone looks the same. Secondly, you don't speak what you want to speak, which goes against contrarian ideology, wherein you speak about things going against the grain because you believe in that thing. When you focus on these two things, like I just talked about right now, you understand that these two are the core factors of what curiosity is based upon. The reason why most people who come to me are in my DMs asking me questions like, why can't I just, why am I not getting leads, views, whatever? It's because you're not focused on novelty and contrarian ideologies. Your personal brand is not personal. You speak from a script. I've not scripted this video. I've just got bullet points about what I need to speak about. You script your videos. That's why they sound fake. You don't talk about things that you want to talk about. You don't, speak in a way that you actually want to speak. You are thinking in a very linear, sort of pillared manner, wherein somebody has told you, some person from Instagram or YouTube has told you that you need to speak in this way, and so you just do that. And you're thinking in like a, sort of like, think about like a horse, right? Let's think this is a horse. Now, it's pretty ugly, but whatever. Why do they make the horse wear those flaps around their eyes? Because they want the horse to focus. They don't want the horse to get distracted. You have been told this by these gurus online. Think about this. I am a sole example of why that advice sucks and why that advice is just outdated. I am able to pull views. I am able to do shit without having to have a beautiful background, good edits, even look that attractive. I'm not that attractive yet. I'm able to do all of this shit. It's because I fundamentally understand what personal branding is. I've been rambling for the last 10 minutes about this shit. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to tell you the actual actionable steps that you can pull to do right now. First of all, understand the language your ICP speaks. Secondly, focus on conveying complexity in your reels. Think about this. You focus complexity in your reels, you simplify those complex ideas in your YouTube videos. Just follow this. You will thank me later because it works so well. Just try it out. You will thank me later. First of all, speak your ideal audience. Speak like your ideal audience. Secondly, convey complex shit. And thirdly, speak with conviction. Speak like you know what you're talking about. Speak with conviction as if like you know everything about the topic, even though you might not. You just speak like you do because conviction is what gives people confidence. If you don't have conviction in what you're talking about, if you don't have conviction in the things that you're teaching, nobody's going to have confidence in what you're teaching or even listening to what you're talking about. The fact of the matter is, if you feel like whatever I'm speaking has actually some sort of value, is actually useful, the reason why you feel that way is because I've spoken with conviction all this time. I've spoken like I know what I'm talking about. That is the exact reason why you're still watching to this point right now. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have something to sell you, but most of the people watching this, maybe the 1% of the people watching this video will probably qualify. So you can see if you qualify or not. You probably won't, but you can message me on Instagram, ask me some questions, or check out my insane VSL funnel below, and you can just see what I can do. I do this for a living, so I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video in which I'm going to be talking about how to position yourself very effectively. So yeah, I'll see you all then. Bye.